Yo, how's it going, everybody? My name's Andy. This is my channel. We normally talk about running, and I just started a brand new marathon training block. Let's talk about it. Okay, so for those of you new to the channel, this is my personal channel. I talk about kind of what I want, but mostly about running, and today's video is going to be about running. So, like I said, I just started a brand new marathon training block. I'm doing a 16-week block. I had kind of like a pre-block workout structure before this, and now I'm here. I just completed week 1, and one of the things I want to do better in this block is I want to have a more structured weekly recap of the training that was. Now, I wasn't exactly sure what this is going to look like. It might kind of evolve as we go along, but for today, we're going to go through each of the runs in some detail from this week. You can ask questions why I do what I do, and if I have an answer, I'll give it to you. I'm no professional trainer or professional runner, so this is just kind of what I've pieced together from my own research and what's worked for me so far. Now, okay. My training blocks typically are set up to be like Monday to Sunday weeks. And they basically go, Monday's an easy day, Tuesday's a workout day, Wednesday is easy but a little bit more mileage, or maybe like a steady state run, Thursday is a workout day, Friday, Saturday are easier runs, kind of mid-mileage, and Sunday is the long run. So since today is Sunday, June 19th, wow, I completely forgot what month it was, and it's Father's Day, by the way. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, including my own, who is, I'm biased, but the best father. So anyway, happy Father's Day, and since today is Sunday, it means that we just finished week 1 of 16 in this training block, so let's talk about those runs. Now, this week, Monday through Wednesday, I was in Florida because if you haven't been following along, we bought this sailboat. It needs some refitting, all that sort of stuff. So I was down there talking to contractors, doing a little bit of work on the boat. So, it was an adventure. I flew out Sunday, got there really late. Anyway, so Monday, my run was, I'm going to pull up my notes real quick. Monday, the run ended up being an easy 2.67 miles. This is the only run that I substantially changed from the training plan. This is supposed to be more about 5 miles. And the real key to this run was kind of listening to your body and cutting it short when you need to. So as I said, I traveled Sunday. I got in really late. There were just a variety of things that happened, and I was working on about 4 hours of sleep coming up on this run. It was hot, it was in the 80s, it was humid, it was like 90% humidity, and my body just said, that is enough. So, called it short and moved on, and it's a good thing that I did. In the past, I would really push through days like this, and I could normally get the work done that it was called for, but the recovery would be bad. So by pushing through on days where I just didn't have it, like the next day, and 2 days later, and 3 days later, I would suffer from the effects of really overdoing it on one day. So this block, I'm trying to be smarter about that. So that's why Monday, I pulled up short at 2.67 miles. Tuesday, now I know I just said Tuesdays are workout days, but this first week of the training, the schedule did not call for a workout. So Tuesday ended up just being a 6-mile kind of steady state run. It was in the 80s again. Humidity was way up, kind of by the 90s. The average pace was 8 minutes and 48 seconds with an average heart rate of 142 beats per minute. It was fine. Would I have liked for the pace to be a little bit quicker? Yes. Would I have liked for the heart rate to have been a little bit lower for the pace? Yes. But hot, humid, direct sunlight, all of those things kind of combined, still being a little, tired from travel and dealing with a bunch of different things, the day before on Monday. It is what it is. I was happy to get the mileage done. The pace was okay. The heart rate was okay. And so we move on to Wednesday. Now, so Wednesday is one of those days, I said it's a steady state run that's often a little bit longer in mileage. And so, Monday Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, those kind of mileages don't change a lot from week 1 to the peak weeks of the training block, like week 12 through 14 or 11 through 14 or whatever. It's like Wednesday and Sunday and a little bit of those other days, but really Wednesday and Sunday where the mileage like increases and everything else kind of hangs in the balance. And so Wednesday, because we're early in the training block, it wasn't that big. I mean, it wasn't a lot of miles at all. It was 5 miles at 8:20 per mile, so a little bit faster. Heart rate was much better, 139 beats per minute. I was very happy with that heart rate, especially because it was still kind of warm. It was in the mid 70s, but the humidity had dropped, and I think that's what really allowed the heart rate to be better. And it's getting a little bit better sleep, like Monday night and Tuesday night, so kind of recover from that really poor sleep on Sunday. So a nice, just easy 5 miles. Now these Wednesday runs are going to get up to like 12 miles probably by the end of the training block, but right now 5 miles felt good. So I finished up with the work I had to do in Florida, and I flew back to my home in Chicagoland. So Thursday I was back home, and it was the first structured workout of the training block. This workout, I quite enjoy it. It's 7 miles with 3 miles at marathon pace, target marathon pace. And what I do is even though they're supposed to be at target marathon pace, I do it like target marathon effort. Like, what does it feel like to run a marathon, and then see what the pace ends up being. And the way it ends up working is it's like a mile warm up, and then mile at pace, recovery, mile at pace, recovery, mile at pace, cool down mile. And those 3 miles at pace ended up being 6:36, 6:54, and 6:25. So the 6:54 is a little bit, it's about 5 seconds below the target marathon pace. The other two were much faster than target marathon pace, so I'm really, really happy with that. The weird thing about the workout is that the third to fourth mile, the second up pace, the route that I run, you have to like cross a street, and the turnaround's in it, and you cross the street again. And so the pace is often a little bit slower because you have to like slow down a little bit to see if cars are coming. You have to like stop and turn around, like do a 180 and go back. So even though it was 4 minutes slower, I think probably like most of the moving time was well within the pace. So I felt good about that. Friday, just 6.21 miles, just nice steady state running. Let's see, pace of 8:44, but an average heart rate of only 139. So the heart rate per pace was really good on Friday. Now Saturday was a 5 mile run. And what I like to do with one of my easy runs, normally not Monday, because Monday is really a recovery day from the long runs that are Sunday. So either in the middle of the Wednesday run or Friday or Saturday, I like to add like a pretty solid 4 or 5 mile progression, either the entire run or like somewhere in the back half of the run. So because Saturday was just 5 miles total, so the 5 mile progression, the overall pace ended up being, I did 8:33 per mile with an average heart rate of 132 beats per minute, so really fantastic heart rate, good pace. And the progression started at like 9:01 per mile for the first one, all the way down to like 7:57 for the last one. And each mile was between like 10 and 20 seconds faster than the previous mile, so just a nice work down the ladder. Went really well. I was really pleased with it. That brings us to today. Capped off this first week with a 16 mile run. It was 16 miles in 7 minutes and 55 seconds per mile, and an average heart rate of 145 beats per minute. Temperature cooled off a little bit, so that was nice. Really, really solid run. I absolutely love my long runs. It's just like this great amount of time to be out there with my own thoughts, just kind of like unspool from the week. I really like the mental toughness that I think I gained from these long runs in addition to, the physical development. And the other thing long runs do is they give me an opportunity to really test a lot of gear, test nutrition, test, kits, test hydration solutions, test nutrition, all that sort of stuff. So today's run was the Janji Groundwork half tights. I think I've become a half tight convert, or at least for long runs and probably for races. Absolutely loving them. The Asics SPR singlet. It's their new racing singlet. I absolutely love it too. It's so lightweight. It's incredibly vented. It's fantastic. I think these two pieces of gear, the difficulty I'm going to have is like not completely wearing them out before the marathon in October. Ran with the Nathan Pinnacle 12 hydration vest. This is the third long run, so like 15 or more miles with the hydration vest in the last month. And I cannot believe that I did not get a hydration vest before now. Before the vest, I would take up to about 18 ounces of water packed into my foot belt, which is like a really, really good solution for a lot of runs. But the long runs, I noticed I was getting pretty dehydrated. The lips sometimes would feel a little chapped. The sweat was getting really like grainy, right? A lot of salt was coming out of it, just all that sort of stuff. And so this hydration vest has really allowed me to make sure that the water intake is good, to stay hydrated. And, you know, even on days where I was having those dehydration issues, I wasn't cramping a lot and all that sort of stuff. And the runs themselves, the long runs, would be on good paces, but the recovery, right, the next day, 2 days down the road, just even later that night, that could be a little bit of a struggle. With the vest, I'm noticing that the recovery is much better. I feel better the rest of the day. I feel better the next day. I love it. It's fantastic. At some point in time, I will do like more reviews or more in-depth reviews, like in a midweek video on the half tights that I've picked up. I've picked up a couple different pairs on the singlets that I'm considering and on this vest because I absolutely love the vest. I'm not sponsored by any of them. I bought all of them my own money, but they're all fantastic pieces of kit. Oh, nutrition, the test today is I tried one of those hot shots. I know there's a couple other YouTubers, or at least one of them, that's a big fan of the hot shots. I tried one today. I have no idea if it worked or not, right? I don't typically cramp on 16 milers. I probably should have saved it for like a 20 miler a few weeks down the road. I just wanted to give it a try. It gave me like the hiccups for the first, I don't know, half a mile or whatever. So that was kind of weird, but those passed, and other than that, it was fine. I didn't notice anything like better or worse. Maybe I'll pick up another one and try it in a longer run. Use the Science and Sport salted strawberry gels. I did 2 of those. I took 2 of them with me, used one of them, and one of the Morton gels. The Morton gels are my race gels. Absolutely love them. And that was the week that was. So the big keys this week is like the paces were good versus the heart rate, particularly on the long run and the structured workout day. The mileage was a little lower than it called for by about 3 to 4 miles. So that's because I listened to my body and cut a run short on Monday. That's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up over that. I've built up a pretty good base before this, so missing out on 3 or so miles, prescribed miles, not that big of a deal. Looking forward, this week it's getting hot again. We're hitting triple digits up in the Chicagoland area, which means the mornings are going to be like mid to upper 70s, maybe lower 80s. So even if I get out before the sun comes up, it's going to be warm. So I'm expecting the paces to be a little slower, maybe the heart rate being a little higher, maybe a little bit of both. And it's going to be okay because we know that it takes a while to acclimate to the heat. So when it gets dropped on you in a short period of time, you're going to be affected. It's okay, right? We'll listen to the body. We'll get through it. We'll keep going forward. That's all I got for today. Let me know if you like kind of the detailed review. I'm gonna kind of wrestle, I think, a little bit with the format, what I want to do with it, how I want to present it. But in the core form, we're gonna do one of these videos a week. This was week 1 of 16, just kind of tracking the progress to the 2022 Mo Cowbell Full Marathon in St. Charles, Missouri in October. Midweeks, I might do some more niche videos. So if you have a comment or a question that you'd like me to respond to, or a topic that you'd like to hear my opinion on, leave a comment down below. I'll add it to the list of ideas for the midweek videos. Maybe subscribe, maybe leave a like, maybe hit a notification bell. They're all free things. I'd appreciate every single one of them. Thank you so much. I will talk to you later.